What did a kid say in court that made you realize you were defending the wrong parent? As a family court lawyer, you learn to read between the lines. When someone says, it's not about the money, it's definitely about the money. When they claim, I just want what's best for the kids, they usually mean what's worst for their ex. After 20 years, I thought I could spot a liar from across the courtroom. But one custody case completely fooled me. The mother had accused my client of horrific child abuse. Not just discipline gone too far, but the kind of allegations that destroy lives forever. The worst part? Both kids backed her up completely. Under oath, the children gave graphic, detailed depositions about things their father had supposedly done to them. The 7-year-old described incidents in the garage. The 9-year-old talked about the bedroom. Their testimonies were so vivid, so believable, that when I read the transcripts, I felt physically sick. Every detail lined up. Every emotion seemed genuine. The kids even cried at the right moments. I'll admit something I'm not proud of. I thought I was defending a monster. The evidence was overwhelming. The children's accounts were consistent. The mother seemed like a protective parent trying to save her babies. My client kept insisting he was innocent, but don't they all? I was going through the motions, doing my job, but my heart wasn't in it anymore. Then I noticed something strange at the very end of the younger child's deposition transcript. After the formal questioning ended, just as everyone was packing up, the court reporter had captured a brief exchange. The 7-year-old had turned to his mother and asked quietly, "Did I hit my marks?" That phrase stopped me cold. Before becoming a lawyer, I'd spent 3 years in Los Angeles trying to make it as an actor. I knew that terminology. Hitting your marks meant standing in the right spot for the camera, delivering your lines from the correct position on stage. It wasn't something a 7-year-old would know unless they'd been around actors, or unless they'd been coached by one. My stomach turned, but for an entirely different reason now. What if these kids weren't remembering abuse? What if they were performing it? I immediately subpoenaed the mother's bank records, and my paralegal found what I was looking for within hours: a series of payments to someone named Deanna Reeves. A quick search revealed she was an acting coach specializing in youth performance preparation. I demanded a deposition with Miss Reeves immediately. At first, she was calm and professional, talking about imagination exercises and confidence building. But when I pressed harder about the specific nature of her sessions with the children, her composure cracked. Under oath, with the threat of conspiracy charges hanging over her head, she admitted everything. The mother had hired her specifically to coach the children on their testimonies, not to help them remember or express real events, but to rehearse completely fabricated stories. Reeves had been given sample questions and detailed scripts. She'd trained the kids to cry on cue, to add pauses for emotional effect, and to make their stories sound authentic. The children had practiced their performances for weeks, treating it like they were auditioning for a movie role. The worst part came when Reeves, trying to reduce her own liability, handed over video recordings from their sessions. There was hours of footage showing the mother sitting with her children, directing them like a film director. In one clip, she stopped her son mid-sentence. No, remember, Daddy did it in the garage, not the bedroom. Start over. In another, she praised her daughter for crying so believably while describing an incident that never happened. The mother had been planning this for months. She wanted full custody and the house, and she knew abuse allegations would guarantee both. She'd researched what details would sound most convincing to a judge. She'd paid the acting coach in cash initially, only switching to checks when she got comfortable. If I hadn't noticed those 5 words, the father would have lost everything. He would have gone to prison for crimes he never committed. His children would have grown up believing they'd been abused, carrying trauma from false memories their mother had planted. The real abuse was what she was doing to them, turning them into weapons against their own father. When I presented the evidence in court, the judge's face went white. The courtroom fell completely silent as the first video played, and within minutes, the case was over. The father received full custody immediately. The mother lost all parental rights and faced criminal charges for perjury, conspiracy, and child endangerment. 6 months later, my client called me from a baseball game sobbing. He thanked me over and over, said I'd saved his life, literally saved his life, because he'd been planning to end it if he lost them. I've won cases worth millions, but this remains the most rewarding case I've ever worked.